Pei Zayin?
I believe so.
Okay, if you are wrong, it's your fault. We're going to go further. He says, so we said yesterday that the Kuzari accepted uh, his words of this Chacham about 40 years of the Jewish people in the desert and about Shabbat is something the fundamental in Judaism. They should accept keeping Shabbat and believing in Shabbat. Amar Hechaver, this Chacham said, HaShabbat mechuzeged mizeh. Why is Shabbat so important? Okay, why? We know the first question people ask about the Jew, a Jewish person, is he Shomer Shabbat? Why is Shabbat? What's the most important to think? Shabbat. Why? He says over here that umibirat ha'olam b'shisha yamim u'mash askerehu. Says it's beginning of the world was created in 6 days, as we mentioned before. Vehu shaha'am im emunatam achare hamoftim ha'ele mashu musel lahem Moshe. Now, it goes and read that later in the history about Moshe Rabbeinu, that they believed, basically, they accepted Moshe Rabbeinu as somebody coming from Hashem. Nish'ar benafshotehem safek. So they had a question. This is very important because it's going to go in about talking about the Muslim and Christians. This part is going to be missing the Muslim and Christians. They don't have such a thing. They couldn't claim that everyone saw Hashem. Nobody could claim that. The only nation could say we stood up and Hashem talked to us, it was Jewish nation. Now, when Moshe Rabbeinu came, people that had Safek, they couldn't believe him. Who you are? You want to become right now? Anyone could come say, I talked to Hashem. Okay? They had in their heart or in his brain always this doubt. Maybe he's lying. How do we know that Hashem talked to him? How is it possible that Hashem talks to a person? כדי שלא תהיה התחלת התורה מעצה ומחשבה מצד האדם שידע בו השראה ויהיה מאת השם, ושהיה רחוק בעיניהם הדיבור מזולת אדם, הואיל והדיבור גשמי. Dibur, words, is something gashmi, from people. How can Hashem come talk to you? How does he work? This is very important. Hashem wanted to take away the safek, the doubt about this part that Hashem talked to Moshe. What does he do? This goes into the Parashat Yitro when Hashem wants to give us the Torah. Hashem says, purify yourself for 3 days. I'm going to come to you, talk to you. They should not have a relationship with the woman. Just like Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't get separated from his wife. Now you get holy. All the Jewish nation, 3 million people. I come and talk to you. That's what I'm going to do. They got prepared to get to the level of the Navi, the prophet. Everyone is standing by Har Sinai, Mount Sinai, to talk to Hashem. Or Hashem going to talk to you. All these noises, thunders, all these things came. It was very, very scary. Now, it says something interesting. That earthquake at that time. I never knew this before. The Torah doesn't say anything about the earthquake over there. The Brakim Uramim, the Torah says. Over here it says, very interesting, he understands the pasuk in the Shemot Yutet Yutchet, he's talking about the earthquake. Ve'esh she'afefa et Har Sinai hamukbar. The esh going around, the fire going around the Har Sinai, the Mount Sinai. V'nishara ha'esh ha'i b'meshech 40 yom al ha'ar. This is very interesting also. According to this, for 40 days, the fire was around this mountain. Roim oto ha'am. People that sing it. Ve'roim et Moshe nichnas elav v'yosem mimenu. They see Moshe Rabbeinu goes in and comes out. Moshe Rabbeinu goes inside the fire and comes out. Ve'shama ha'am adibur mefurash ba'asara divarim. Now, this part, it might be a contradiction or might be some people, they argue with it. He says over here in this pasuk, which is maybe contradicting the Rashi in the Torah, that he says the nation, they heard the Asara Diberot, all of it from Hashem. Hem imot hamisvot v'yikarehem. Now, Rashi says in the Torah that they heard only two of them, the first two. Once they heard the two, they died. So they said to Moshe Rabbeinu, that's enough. We already got it. We don't need any more. You talk to Hashem, tell us what he says. He says over here, maybe Adam Mefarshim argue with Rashi, I don't know, you should check it out, that they heard everything. Echad mehem hasiul Shabbat. One of the commandments that they heard from Hashem was you have to keep Shabbat. So we know this is if you learn the Torah in the Gemara, Torah Sheba'al Peh, this is part of Torah Sheba'al Peh, that Rashi also brings it down. Really, the halachot Shabbat was given to the Jewish people before Matan Torah. This is one of the halachot was given to Jewish people before Matan Torah in the Midbar, in the desert, was Shemirat Shabbat. So these 10 commandments, they didn't accept it from the human being. They got it from Hashem directly. Now, from then on, and that day, they believed in Moshe Rabbeinu completely. Until that day that Hashem talked to them, they had some safek, some doubt inside their heart. Now they couldn't, it's very hard to understand. This is exactly what happened to Muslims and to Christianity. Well, how does the Christianity started? This Jew guy, whatever he said, he did Shema Furash, he do the miracles and all everything. He said, I'm from Hashem. Nobody knows he's right. So he came, I'm from Hashem. That's what he did. And we had the same thing by the Muslims. So Muhammad came from behind this the mountain. I talked to Hashem. As always, I get text from Hashem. He says to me what to do, what not to do. That's what he did. לא קדמה למשה בו מחשבה ולא דעה, כדי שלא תהיה הנבואה, וחושבים הפסולופים, מנפש שיזדכך ומחשבותה, ויתח בשכל הפועל הנקרא רוח הקודש וגביע. So what Moshe says, everything from Hashem. Nothing coming from his own mind. This is something you have to believe in, otherwise you are missing something. Each person should believe each word of the Torah, even the Devarim. Parashat Devarim, the Sefer Devarim written by Moshe Rabbeinu, everything written with the permission of Hashem. We know we are missing one letter in the Torah is Pasul. That's what it is. Okay? So now, same thing, Devarim, doesn't matter which parasha. Everything we have in the Torah was given through Moshe Rabbeinu by Hashem. That's why Hashem wanted to talk to them, to prove to them that whatever you hear from Moshe Rabbeinu is going to be basically, I tell him what to tell you. He's not coming from himself. That's why when the Yitro came to suggest something to Moshe Rabbeinu to do, Moshe Rabbeinu, Yitro told him also, he asked Hashem, is what the Yitro says I should do it, I shouldn't do it. He said, fine. Hashem says, okay. And he started to do what the Yitro told him. Okay. We go to Halachot Shabbat. We're doing Halachot of the Chazara and Shehiyah. We mentioned yesterday that basically Shehiyah means to put food on the fire before Shabbat. We brought down the machloket of the Chananiah and the Chachamim in the Mishnah and the Shulchan Aruch that if you want to put some food on the fire before Shabbat, can you or cannot? Again, just remind you what we said yesterday, that what we are talking about over here, we are talking about open fire. You want to put your food on the open fire before Shabbat. How much the food should be cooked or shouldn't be cooked before you put it on the fire. We mentioned yesterday, is your food is fully cooked or not cooked at all, you're allowed to put it on the fire. There's no question about it. The question is between Chananiah and the Chachamim, if your food is ma'achal ben dorsai, if it's not completely cooked.
But if it's not cooked at all, or if it's completely cooked,
it's fine.
You can cook. It doesn't matter if it's stomach ve'achel or stomach ve'achel.
Right, as we mentioned, yeah, that's fine. Now, if it's ma'achal ben dorsai, which is according to the Rambam is half cooked, according to Chananiah, you could put it on the fire. According to Chachamim, you cannot. According to Shulchan Aruch, you could be mekel and go like Chananiah. Okay? So if you need to be mekel, you have yesh lahem al ma sheismuch. There are those poskim who could rely on it, even though is half cooked. But now, if it's not machal ben dorsai, everyone agrees that you cannot put it. You cannot. If it's between not cooked and machal ben dorsai, is a problem. The problem is there. Everyone agrees there's certain things you cannot put. Okay? So now, that's a machloket. So better, if you want to be safe, you want to be yotzeh, you want to do according to everybody, you better do it either not cooked at all or basically completely cooked. We're going to see more details with Hashem today. Now, we say over here that לפני Shabbat. When you get to the Shabbat, it's going to be machal ben dorsai or less than machal ben dorsai. Let's say Shabbat starts 5:30. When you get the food is on the fire by 5:30, what the stage is going to be?
How can it be not cooked at all?
To just put it 5:30. Right, 1 minute before, whatever. You do it 1 minute before. But by 5:30 gets to the point is between machal ben dorsai and not cooked at all is a problem. If it gets to machal ben dorsai, it's going to be okay according to we're going to see. So right.
So it's best for it to be edible or not edible at all?
What do you mean by edible?
Like 1/3, whatever.
No, the best is not cooked at all or cooked completely. That's the best. Because machal ben dorsai is a machloket. So according to Hanania, you could do it. According to Chachamim, you shouldn't do it. So you better off, if it's possible for you. We're gonna see more about it now, Be'ezrat Hashem, that you do it in a way that go like Chachamim, that do it in a way that completely cooked. Or don't put it on just before Shabbat. Put it on. Okay, that's
we're talking only about existing fire, not like
open fire. No blech, no plata, or crockpot. Crockpot considered fire. Okay, just to have that in mind. Crockpot considered fire. Anything you cook on it.
10 minutes. Let's say you put it on for 10 minutes before. We're talking about beef inside of a crockpot.
Nothing gonna happen to that within 10 minutes.
It's
no.
still considered not cooked at all.
Right.
Even 20 minutes.
Right. Okay. Okay. So now, if you don't want to get to this machloket, if you don't want to deal with it, which is most Jewish people, they don't want to deal with this. They don't know even this halacha. One solution is you cover your fire. So therefore, once you fire it covered, like a blech or something, that's you're gonna be fine. Some they say, so crockpot consider something you cook on it. The blech, the point of the blech is nobody cooks on it. Okay, huh? Right. So now let me go further. Something I tell you now, we're gonna see to it later on. Now, this question is a machloket between Harav Vadia and Harav Mazus Zichron Libracha. A lot of poskim talk about this. This Harav Vadia holds something like blech. Nobody cooks on it, even though it cooks. Okay? According to Harav Vadia, once nobody cooks on it, even though it's cookable, that you could cook food on it, you'll be fine. Harav Mazus held, we're going to see later on, and others, what are you talking about? It's going to cook. So it's going to be a problem. So what? Nobody cooks on it. So you have to make it so low that it doesn't cook. Right. We're gonna see more about it later on. Or you put it not cooked at all. Right. We're gonna see that. We're gonna see it soon. So now, if some they say you could cover the knob also. Okay, this is not everyone agrees with this. Some say like Sefer Menucha Da'ava, Sefer Harav Moshe Alevi. He's one of the Gedolim we had. He died very young age. He was Talmid of Harav Mazuz. He says, and others, some Ashkenazi poskim also, they go this way. This has nothing to do with Ashkenazi Sephardi, just by the way. Sometimes you mention Moshe Feinstein, people say, this is for Ashkenazi. No, some certain things is a sevara. Sevara means how they understand the sugya. Has nothing to do with the Ashkenazi Sephardi. So some they say, if you cover the knob, that's going to be enough. Why covering the knob is going to be enough? No. So why does it help?
What?
Okay.
Pachad.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Shema Gemara says, Shema yechate b'gechalim. So what's the problem? Shema yechate b'gechalim means you might come and make it higher, so you eat the food because it's not cooking. So some they say that heker, okay, fine, you put it, you cover it, that's good. But if it's not doable, let's say for the crock pot, how are you gonna cover it? So some they say, you know what, just cover the knob, you'll be fine. Or some they say, if you think your knob is on the highest and you cannot make it higher anymore, that's on the highest level you have, so you're not gonna make it higher anymore. So it'll be fine. Huh? But the gezara was shema gechate b'gechalim to make it higher, to make cook faster. So we don't add to the gezerot. Basically, the gezerah we have, we go the full gezerah we have. We don't make any new gezerot. What we have. So once we have the gezerot, that's what it is. That's we follow the rules. That's what chachamim are. So now we see another solution we have over here. We mentioned this. We finished for today. Another solution you have. Let's say you see right before Shabbat, your food is not ma'achal ben dorsai yet. So you cannot go with even the mekelim. So what do you do? What you could do? Get a piece of meat, put inside, that's finished. That's going to take care of your problem. So, huh? Right. Yes, exactly. So now what do you do? כן.
שאתה מתחיל לפני שבת,
כן.
ואז שמגיע שבת,
כן. Right.
אז עושים עם הבשר ככה,
Okay, right. We're gonna see more Mekalim, more the tour and the other. Crockpot. So now, if you want to be more machmir, you could go like the Moshe Levi. Also, you could cover the knob that way. But you want to go like others, you could do piece of meat inside. But I should mention, most poskim they hold vegetable doesn't help. You cannot put some barley inside or some onion inside. That's not gonna work. Why? Because the whole reason we say the could put piece of meat inside and it would help, because when you put the meat inside, meat's gonna take a long time to cook. You take your mind away, and you are not gonna the gechalim. You're not gonna yechate gechalim. You're not gonna stir it. You're not gonna come to make it higher. You're gonna take your mind away. Especially, we're gonna see if you do it for the morning. You're not gonna use it at night. So therefore. So that's what happened. That's why Chacham they were worried about it, because people they really want to eat the cholet. So that's you. Once you put piece of meat inside it, you'll be okay. It shouldn't be any problem.